Coping through COVID-19 can be a struggle for some people. Joining us on the phone this morning to give us some advice and a different perspective about staying sane through this pandemic is local psychiatrist who deals with inmates in incarceration, Dr. Ken Hopper. Good morning to you.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Hopper, I know that you have a lot of experience through your career, but this is an uncertain time, one that the country, the world has never seen before. And you have so many people that might be inside and they're scared and they have that anxiety. What is your advice to them to stay sane while staying safe?
Yes, the advice really cuts across the incarceration environment even into society, which is that keep focus, keep thinking about the things that you can personally do to impact your safety, and that sort of scoping and focus, really trying to pull away any sort of spiraling of thinking can be very, very, very helpful. I actually have four steps that I often tell people to do, but it is all about focus and about not going down rabbit trails in terms of spiraling.
And it's all about keeping it simple. So it's about a short-term plan and a long-term plan, right? You got to have both.
Yes, absolutely. So keeping the goal simple is the first step, and that is making it very tangible, making it where you can measure it. We oftentimes go towards the larger goal without the steps in between. It's hard to get there without taking some steps. The short and long term are really blended into that. So the long-term goal, obviously, is to be able, if you're in a correctional facility, is to move beyond being in the correctional facility. How do you get there? By staying healthy and well, by taking some steps today about that. So the long-term and short-term are very important in advancing that.
And Doc, it's so different because you have some people who are immunocompromised or they're in those at-risk age groups where they really have to stay home and they can't have visitors, and they might be very social naturally. And that's different than a lot of people that are out in our community that are still going out and exercising and waving to their neighbors and being able to possibly even go to the beach and do all these activities. The people that are inside are the ones that we need to worry about the most, right?
Yes, I would say from a potential problem with getting into depression or anxiety, the folks inside are going to have a greater burden of needing to find a way to stay busy productively. So you're absolutely correct. Being able to focus on productive and substitute activities that need to happen inside, keeping some sort of exercise regimen going even in your home or in an incarceration setting is going to be critical as an example.
Yeah, and finally, as we wrap up, Dr. Hopper, I want to say, a lot of the inmates that you work with probably do have an end date. They know that they're going to be released at a certain time. They can look forward to that. With this pandemic, we don't have an end date set in stone. How do you deal with that it's just almost like Groundhog Day every day for some people?
Yes, well, certainly it is a lesson in how to deal with the uncertainties of life, that is for sure. And that in and of itself is not a bad thing to kind of bring up into our consciousness. But there will be an end, planning towards that end, being able to say, how do I make steps to get there? We're always advantaged by moving in the positive direction. Where we're not advantaged, obviously, is to become desperate and start doing things that shoot ourselves in our own feet. And so it is always a good thing, even with uncertainty, to know there will be a time when this is over. And that's true of these the terms of when people are in incarceration. They do have an end date, a lot of parallel to how they need to focus for optimal outcomes for themselves.
Dr. Ken Hopper from Armor Health, thank you so much for your time. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.